Hello, what's up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka Review King MB, and I couldn't help myself. I said I would do a separate video talking about Michael Keaton as the Vulture in the post-credit scenes of Morbius, and it's terrible. It's god-awful. If I had just watched the movie as it was, I would have said it's a Netflix and chill, it's a rental, whatever you want to say, watch it at home on Netflix until you got to the mid-credit scenes, or I guess they're both mid-credit scenes, right? They're broken up. So you get the one scene where the sky opens up and it looks like the blue spell thing that was at the end of Spider-Man No Way Home when more Spider-Man villains and characters were coming in because of the spell, and Doctor Strange had to stop them. So, for whatever reason, this doesn't make any sense for why this universe's sky is opening up like this. You know, because the whole point of the spell was that because it was Tom Holland's Peter Parker that was doing the spell, or wanted the spell, initiated it, they were coming to his world. And then by the end of that movie, he makes it so that Doctor Strange does a spell that makes everyone forget who he is, so that they leave and go back. So why the fuck is Michael Keaton's Vulture going to another universe? How does that make any sense? Michael Keaton knew that Tom Holland, Peter Parker, was Spider-Man. He already knew that, and he was already in that universe. So what about that spell? Or the second spell that makes him forget who Spider-Man is would put him in Michael Morbius' universe. It doesn't make any sense. This is what happens when Sony gets their hands on anything that Disney Marvel does. Disney Marvel has spent the last 13, 14 years, whatever it is now, building a universe, creating rules that I won't say everything's perfect, but for what it is, 25 movies, it's damn near perfect. They've been able to keep track of everything and make most of the post-credit scenes, most of the thread lines, most of the rules stick and be easy to follow. So when you have Sony by themselves writing follow-ups or trying to do their own separate spin-off, piggybacking off of the wave of what Spider-Man No Way Home did, thanks to Kevin Feige and their team, this is bullshit, because this doesn't make any sense. Fine, let's forget that. It's painfully obvious that they just took a lot of clips that were probably shot before Spider-Man No Way Home, but because of No Way Home, they reworked it, which is why the movie was pushed back, I fully believe. I gave them credit and thought maybe they want to shoot a scene and bring in Andrew Garfield, you know, like that would be a cool, badass thing. Basically confirm that Morbius and even Venom is in the Andrew Garfield universe. I mean, we would love that. Fans would love that. But no, what they did is they got Michael Keaton, who was great. He was great as the Vulture. It sucks that he's now out of the MCU. They have this news reporter say that because he came from somewhere else, he appeared out of nowhere, that they are just going to release him from prison. Huh? I mean, I know that whatever crimes he did, and he comes from a different prison, from a different universe, and so maybe it's just all confusing on how to keep him imprisoned, but he clearly committed some form of crime where he came from, so just to release him? Whatever. You know, it's dumb, but okay, fine. The next mid-credit scene is you have Jared Leto driving to an abandoned place, and he's waiting for somebody. Vulture shows up in full costume. Now, how the fuck does this make sense? How did Adrian Toomes, Michael Keaton, how did he get his wings? How did he get his armor, his helmet? All of that gear that he had was built off of the Chitauri weapons that they got from the Battle of New York in the MCU. This universe does not have a Battle for New York alien technology just lying around somewhere for him to make more. It doesn't make sense that he would have a new wings and new gear. It doesn't make any sense. He's by himself. He doesn't have the crew that he had in Spider-Man Homecoming. This is stupid. Everything about this scene is stupid. And then he's talking to Morbius. We never see his face. He just wears his helmet the entire time. So that's how you know that this was shot after the fact and done after the fact. And they just got Michael Keaton to do a voiceover to try to make some semblance of sense. And Jared Leto, even his reactions to what Michael Keaton's saying doesn't quite match up. So I wonder what scene that was originally supposed to be. Like, who was Jared Leto originally supposed to meet? Or maybe the dialogue was going to be different with Keaton? I don't know. But basically, Keaton says to Jared Leto, hey, somehow I got here. I don't really know how. I think it has something to do with Spider-Man. Let's make sure that we mention that character by name. And then Keaton says, hey, we should team up to take out Spider-Man. And Jared Leto says, huh, interesting. And then it cuts off. It's, huh? Does Morbius know who Spider-Man is? If Morbius is in the Venom universe, if they're both in the same universe, Venom already established that in his world there is no Spider-Man, which I thought was dumb. It should have been Andrew Garfield, like I said, but that's what they did. Sony did that. Sony established that there's no Spider-Man in the Venom universe. So if Morbius is also in that same universe, which the detective with Tyrese earlier mentioned, hey, we haven't had anything this crazy since that stuff in San Francisco, which is where the Venom movies take place. So I guess it is in that world. So in this world, there's no Spider-Man. So Keaton mentions Spider-Man. Morbius doesn't say, who? Spider-Man? Who's that? He says, oh, interesting. I might be interested. Even though this whole movie established that Morbius was a good guy, or at least a guy who didn't want to do bad things. Now all of a sudden, he's going to meet with some random dude that he doesn't know and be interested in maybe fighting some guy named Spider-Man. This doesn't make any fucking sense. Fuck you, Sony, for trying to insult my intelligence, for trying to make me think that, oh, because we name dropped Spider-Man, because we grabbed Michael Keaton out of the MCU and we have him interacting with our Morbius character, that's going to get you excited. That's going to get you hyped. That's going to make you care about a sequel or a Sinister Six that you guys have been trying to do since, The Amazing Spider-Man 2? You've been trying to shoehorn all of these characters and villains that nobody really wants to see happen. I don't want to see this movie happen. I don't want to see Sinister Six. Not unless Kevin Feige's behind it. But this is a hodgepodge of just mashing stuff up together, and it's going to hurt the MCU brand because there are some people who do not know that this is not Marvel Studios. There are some people who just see the Marvel logo in the trailers or on the poster or even before the movie, and so they think this is connected. And it's getting harder and harder to disprove that or to educate those fans, for people like me to tell them, hey, no, this isn't connected because of X, Y, and Z. It's harder to explain that because now you have Vulture showing up. You're probably going to have Tom Holland show up and interact with these people. This sucks. This sucks. Fuck this movie. At the very least, fuck those scenes. I'm pissed. I need to vent. I need to get this out there. Thank you for listening. Later.